Hey everybody, Bill in Virginia. Welcome back. So I'm doing a little bit more work on Jerry's layout, and I think I noted it in the last one. We've got a 45-degree angle here on the ends, and you can see how I've got this. It's nice and flush on the outside. Inside it's not. When I put pink foam board in, if I left it like this, it would be either a gap or I would have to do an odd cut to fit the pink foam board in. So what I've been doing here for just a little bit is I have been cutting some filler pieces and gluing them in place so that I got a straight edge. When this is sanded and finished, what Jerry's friend is going to do, guessing this will be nearly invisible. We'll get rid of that. So I've already got the other corner down here done. I am going to do those as well at the top here. As you can see, I've still got the gap, so I'm just going to cut the pieces, get those glued in, and then let it sit, and then I can move on to fitting the pink foam board. So more to come. So moving on to the next step with Jerry's build here. I did get the little pieces put in, got them in all the corners, and right now I've got the pink foam board stood up with the frame for the layout. And I've already come in with a pencil and have marked the pink foam board, and I'll start to cut it. That takes a little bit of time. I use basically a knife blade, and then score it lightly, and then continue to score until I get it all the way through. But real quick, this particular segment that I'm filming now is about 3 weeks after the lead-in to this particular episode. I've been traveling, been in Sweden, I've been in Germany, and I've been in Thailand since I did the last little clip on this particular video. So I'm getting started again here. It's after Thanksgiving now, so I should make some good progress on Jerry's build here over the next couple of weeks, as I'm not going to be traveling for a bit. Also, want to thank everybody who has subscribed to the channel. While I was in Europe, the number of subscribers to the channel clicked over 4,000. And as of today, it's a healthy 4,054 subscribers. So as I've said many times, I appreciate everyone that subscribes to the channel. I'm doing this because I love the hobby. I love to share tips and tricks and, obviously show off, what I can build. Because I have fun doing it. It's a great hobby. You get to do everything from woodworking to electrical to being very creative with scenery, building landscapes, trees, modeling what you feel is your world. So I'm happy to do that, and I'm happy to have every one of you along for the journey. So with that, I will turn my attention back now to Jerry's build and make some progress on this video for it. All right, I've got the preliminary cuts done on the pink foam board. This side was the factory side, and this is where I laid it out for marking. You can see I've got trim work to do just to get it to where it'll fit inside the frame. And that's no big deal. I knew that was going to be the case, so I've got to trim just a little bit here and there to get it to fit. I will take it outside tomorrow, put it up on my stands, and get that done. Then I will take some rough sandpaper just to kind of smooth the edge a little bit. And after that, I will paint this part. I've got a flat latex paint so that it won't react with the pink foam board. It will be a forest green, not quite this because that's an oil-based enamel, but more like that. And I think I showed the paint bottle before. So anyway, that's it for a Friday night. Making some progress. Tomorrow should easily have it cut, have it painted. I'll let that dry for several hours, maybe 2 coats of paint, and then ultimately press it in. And I will use some adhesive down here on my cross pieces, just so that this sets and is not going anywhere. So more to come. All right, it's still Friday night. I got it trimmed and it's just dry fit. So pretty pleased with the results overall. Fits pretty good. A few minor gaps. Still got some sanding to do, and then paint, and then put it into place permanently. But I will do that tomorrow, because I will take it outside to kind of get it finished off and ready to start the test fitting track on this. That might be what I get to later in the day tomorrow. I will see what I can do. Still have to paint, or actually sand, paint, let it dry, glue in place, press it down. But I can probably start getting some of the track out and start putting some of the major components down. This will be a dry fit for the track first, and if everything goes well and it looks good, then I will actually assemble everything and then put some power to it and start testing. So that might even be on this video yet. We'll see how far I can get. So Saturday morning, and what I've done so far is I have come in with a sanding block and just kind of knocked off the nub leads and the real rough stuff from the edges of the pink foam board. Now you will notice the pink foam board is white on the ends. I came in with the construction adhesive and put some blobs on this. Took some scrap pieces that had some good straight edges, came in and applied and pressed in to kind of fill in voids, manufacturing defects, just rough spots from when I did the cut. Next thing I'll do is I'll let this dry thoroughly, probably a couple of hours, come back in, hit it lightly with the sanding block again, just to kind of smooth it up. Doesn't have to be perfect. You know, it's going to be hidden by paint and others. So it should look pretty good when I'm done. Then once that's done, I will paint the outside edge, the first coat. Then what I'll do is I will come back in and with the construction adhesive, lay beads on those cross pieces and then set this foam board in place. Once that's in place, then I'm going to come back in with the adhesive again, and I'll lay a bead between the board and the pink foam board just along here, and then work that in so I got a nice solid look to it. Then after that, come back in with last coat of paint and then just paint again so that I get my finished edge. Then I'm ready to start putting some track down on top and putting the plan in action here and see how it turns out. So lots going to happen today, I think. So a little later Saturday morning, the adhesive that I'd spread on had set. Came back, give it a quick sand, and now I've put the like dark forest green on most of it, except for the side that's on the repurposed yoga mat. This will be the bottom side that'll get glued to the frame. This will be the top side. You can see I added green about a brush stroke width. All that'll be covered by scenery at some point in the future. Just makes that transition look good. So once this dries, I will do the other side, let it dry, then glue it down to the cross pieces that are in here, and then come back in and do some additional finish work. I still think by the end of this video, I will be getting track out and starting to put key components just on the pink foam board, and start to get the track moving here for Jerry. All right, painting is done before I adhere it to the frame. Let it dry for about another hour, and then I'll be able to glue it in, then come back in, do some finish caulking, and then do a little bit more touch-up paint. and then I can move on to track. So making some progress. I think it's gonna look pretty good. I'm looking forward to putting some track down. Jerry's plan is really, really nice, and I am looking forward to making it happen for him. So anyway, more to come. All right, just a dry fit, and that looks pretty good. I'll do my adhesive caulk just around this, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint just the top of this green, just to kind of match, because it seems like it pulls the eye from the layout, just the way I'm looking at it. So I've got some painter's tape all around. Once I get the caulk in, then I'll just paint this whole little piece green, and that should provide a little bit of a visual transition when you get down to here, where you'll get, you know, the nice finished wood that'll match up to the cabinet that Jerry has. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, because otherwise it's gonna pull your eye. I think if I can get it down to here in green, yeah. We'll see how it looks. That's what the plan is at the moment. Let everything sit for a while again, and then I will come back in and adhere this to the framework and move on to the next step. Saturday afternoon, and I have the adhesive added in as a caulk to fill in some of those gaps between the frame and the pink foam board. So I will let this sit for a while, and I can then come back in and do like I said. I'm going to paint the top of this along with this again, more of the green. I will put some painter's tape around that. In fact, I'm going to start doing that right now. So when it cures, I can give it a paint, and then I can start getting the track out and start putting some track in place. So making some progress. I have the painter's tape in place, just to kind of keep it from running when I do put on some additional paint here. Right now I just have to wait for this to cure. You know, it's an adhesive. It'll dry hard, but it takes a little while. So I'm just going to go do some other things this afternoon, let that set up, and once it's pretty good and dry, good skim over it and not sticky to the touch, then I can paint. And then after that, track. So at the very least, I'm going to get the basics done on this before calling this video good. So maybe another segment or two, and that'll be it for this one. So still waiting to do the painting on the side there. It's taken a long time for that to dry, but I did come back in and painted the rest of the pink foam board, the forest green. You know what, it's a small layout. It didn't take much paint. It's all going to be covered anyway with scenery, you know, and other things on there. But this way, you know, it gives me a little bit of a sub base that glues will adhere to a little bit better than the pink foam board, because the paint gets in and adheres to the pink foam board and all that other good stuff. So anyhow, I'll let that dry, and I'm still hoping tonight to be able to do the final paint on the sides and then move on. Thinking now with the length of this video, I'm not going to get to any track work on this video, but I will get this ready and to that point. So probably one more segment, and then that'll wrap this one up. Late Saturday afternoon, and I have painted all that I'm going to paint, I think. I'm going to let the paint dry, and then I will remove the painter's tape. But yeah, I think that will do it. Everything get good and dry, and I'm going to be ready to put some track on. But I think that will happen next time. So I'm going to get this finished up, pull the tape off, do one last segment, and then call this one good. Saturday evening is coming to a close, and I'm wrapping it up for the day. So I've got the painter's tape off, so you can see how the framework of Jerry's layout is going to look. I think it's turned out so far pretty reasonable. Tomorrow I will start to get some track out, and this is light. You know, even with layout and track and other things on it and scenery, this is not going to be heavy. This will be very easy for Jerry and another person to move around in his apartment. So with that, that is going to do it for this episode. So keep having fun on your layouts. Until next time.